I am on and waiting for you. All right, it's live. Let me know when you are here. Say a word or two. Click a like. Use applications. And I'm going to close some stuff. And I'm going to do this really quickly. Okay. All right. Hey, let me know you're here. Folks are coming on. 4 of us are here. Hello, climbers. Hello, 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 hello. Good evening. Good evening. Hello, Deborah Wolford. Deborah, I want to talk to you about your wellness workshop and have you come in and work with my babies. I'm ready. Hey there, Novella. You are on time tonight. Let me know that you guys can hear me. If you notice, I'm in yet a different spot. And I'm going to find the spot that works. This is pretty comfortable. Hey, Juliet! You can nearly see my desk. This means paperwork for the new tax person is about to be done and passed along. Good job, Juliet. I just got off the phone with Juliet. She drove me home. Hey there, Karen Brookins. Hello, climbers. Hello, climbers. Hello, climbers. It is 8:29. I've been here for 4 minutes just waiting for some folks to log on. Good. Thank you, Juliet. So you can hear me. I've never sat at my desk, so I'm in my office, and I think this light and this space works. So we'll see. I'm actually on my desktop. So you are in my office, my home office. Hello, climbers, everyone. Good evening, Grace. Hello, everyone. You guys have been really good and letting me know. We've frozen a couple times this week, so I'm hoping that we can move forward. Did everyone get some rest? Hey there, E-Star. I am hoping that we have been following our challenge and doing the things that we've been tasked to do each day. I know that some of you check in with me personally, so I know that you've been super productive and you have done every single thing that we have done for the past 16 days. So we will wait for some other folks to join us. And there is no recapping. I just want to talk about the rest that we got because I had an amazing night's sleep. And so much so. Hey there, Keisha Jones. I'm glad you're here with us. Come on in, climbers. We are waiting for a few more people to join us and then we'll get started. Today's 16 day was about getting some rest. So we rest. Some rest, recharge, reinvigorate, replenish. I hope that all of us had an opportunity to do that. Hello, Betty Payton Williams. Thank you for joining us. It is time to climb out. I am going to wait 2 more minutes to let folks join us and get started. I had a long day and a long, great day. And my hope is that you guys have been showing up as the absolute best versions of yourself in your personal life and your work life, and you've seen hey there, Michael Edward Allen, bestie since 1996. My hope is that you've seen, hey there, Andrea, I got your text message. It was a crazy day, but I absolutely want to first thank you again for your offering and say yes, absolutely, let's do this. And I appreciate you so much for the offering. It was an awesome offer. And it's a part of self-help is me accepting help, and I appreciate the offer, so it is a yes. Okay, we're going to get started because it is 8:32, and we are on day 16 of our 28-day self-care challenge, climbing out, because we have all decided that there is some place in our life, some space in our life that we wanted to climb out from, and we have agreed that it didn't have to be some dark, deep, dreadful place. It just needed to be a place of complacency. Hello, Tina, Lucas. It needed to be a place of complacency, somewhere where you absolutely no longer wanted to be and were willing to join all of us who made the same decision to climb out of that space and have some changes in our lives that, for me, have proven to be much needed. And I am so happy that you guys have found this useful and have chosen to join me each and every night at 8:30 so we can continue to climb out together. On yesterday, we decided that we needed some rest. Especially those of us who have done this challenge each and every day for 16 days. We are kicking butt. I am so proud of myself. I'm so proud of you. And if you have not heard or have not been told, even by you, give yourself a pat on the back and tell yourself that you are proud. Sometimes we've got to be our biggest cheerleader. So we are on day 16, and today was about rest. So on last night, we charged ourselves with recharging. If you have been a part of this challenge, every single day we have made the task of climbing out an important part of our lives, and we have done it. We are doing things every single day, some things that we've never done, some things that we have found super helpful to get us on the road to recovery from the place that we were, that we are climbing out of, and that we are enjoying being somewhere new. We have decided that I will, each and every day, I will not. And we decided that the I will not, that thing that I absolutely will not do, is the most important decision that we make each day, because that is us setting healthy boundaries for ourselves, especially those of us who give. When we want to rest, when we want to say no, we keep saying yes to other people. So we each day decide one thing that I absolutely will do and one thing I absolutely will not do, understanding that thing that we say that we will not do is the most important decision that we can make for ourselves each day, because it is setting a boundary. So if you've decided that I will not have negative self-talk, I will not eat the bread, I will not have cookies, I will not call him, I will not call her, I will not be a part of the gossip at work, I will not say yes when I want to say no, I will not say yes when I need to say no. So the most important thing of this challenge each day is the thing that we say that I will not do, and sticking to it. So we set boundaries and make our daily declaration. Latanya and Katina, thanks for joining us. Katina, thank you always for tagging people and asking them to join us. So the very first thing that we decided to do was to figure out how the fuck we got here, how the heck we got here. And once we made a decision and acknowledged how we got here, we decided that we're going to climb out of here. And by doing that each and every day, we have been given a task and we've done it. We've done everything from holding ourselves accountable, doing something that we've avoided, spending time with friends, buying ourselves flowers, taking a drive and listening to our inner thoughts. We listen to daily affirmations. We make a to-do list. We have a morning routine. For some of us, that includes a facial. We have a nightly routine where we decided that 4 things every single night I will do to take at least the 15 minutes I need to recharge, ground myself, recenter, and find some peace. And we make our bed every day. Juliet and I talked about that today. We are making our bed. We have, hey there, Tonette and Wanda Marie. Hey, climbers. I'm so excited to see you too. What else have we done over the past 16 days? We stopped procrastinating. We made a list of 10 things that we love about ourselves, and we wrote ourselves a love letter, and some of us told the world what we love. And most importantly, we are on day 16 because last night we decided, because we've done all of these things and understanding that because we've added yet another task to our day, I've got to be here at 8:30 every night, and I'm going to do the thing that climbing out has charged me to do each day. Yesterday, we decided to get some rest. So for rest for me looked like not going to class. And it wasn't to make an excuse to not do something that needed to be done, but I've had a super long 2 weeks. Yesterday, I was extremely tired, and I had a day full of emotions. And 3 hours sitting in institutional racism was probably not the best thing I needed to do for myself. And I decided to not go to class last night and get some rest. I went to bed early. I got in my bed at 9:30, and I was asleep by 10. And I woke up at around 3 because something was on my spirit. And I checked my phone, And my BFF Tonette had also had a problem sleeping last night, and she shared with me an idea, and it was the same idea that I had, and some magic happened just by me making a decision to get some rest. And as a result of us connecting in that space, I got out of my bed at 5:30 a.m. Unheard of. Because I chose to rest on yesterday, I was able to rise early. I actually I got dressed today like it was Monday, baby. I had on heels. I had on heels all day. Wait a minute, y'all ain't ready because I've still got them on. Woo! Look at that, all day. I had on heels all day. I was dressed to the nines. I showed up for a business meeting. I had my meeting, and I continued to have a super productive day. Super productive. And what I said to Juliet earlier when we were on the phone, what climbing out has done for me is my to-do list isn't bullshit. Like, I put real goals, real constructive tasks on my to-do list. Because when we did our self-appraisal, when it was Tell the Truth Tuesday, and the week before, when we had to admit that we have not been showing up as our best version of ourselves, I realized that I was not, and I keep mentioning this on each of our calls, asking you if you've been showing up and being the best version of yourself at work. And if your employer was to peep in on you for the full 8 hours, are you working and doing the things that are expected of you? But bigger than that, are we doing some things outside of our job description? Because there are a lot of people in this world right now unemployed. And if you're blessed right now to be self-employed with clients, have a 9 to 5, and aren't giving your best, maybe we should check that. So I checked that. And as a result, I've been getting a lot of stuff done. So I showed up for work today early. I told that I was in that building by 8 o'clock. Look, I don't know how you roll, but I ain't nowhere at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I was this morning like this. So I'm actually just walking in the door. So tonight, we're going to talk about regrets. We're going to talk about regrets. And this is on my spirit for a couple of reasons. Yesterday, I shared on my Facebook page that I walked through the intake area, and there was a young person, and I asked her, how old are you? And she said 18, and she was looking at me like really weird. She said 18, and I asked because our program is for adults. Divine Light provides substance abuse treatment to everyone, but Rebound, an initiative of Divine Light, provides services for 18 to 30-year-olds. So I'm often walking through Divine Light's intake area trying to steal all the young people. And so I see this young girl. She says she's 18. She's looking at me like she saw a ghost. And she says, can I give you a hug? I'm like, sure. And I gave her a hug, and this little baby melted in my arms. I'm like, okay, you can let go now. And I'm hugging her, and she's like just melting in my arms, right? And she stepped back, and she looked at me, and she's got tears in her eyes, and she says, I can't believe you're really real. I can't believe you're a real person. Now I'm kind of weirded out. And she says she saw my TED Talk while she was in the hospital after a suicide attempt, and I inspired her to live, right? And tonight is about regrets. And I've had the absolute privilege and luxury of once being homeless and addicted to drugs, right? Privilege, luxury, no regrets, right? I actually stood outside of the liquor store on Pennsylvania Avenue and asked for loose change, right? Lost custody of my kids. The epitome of drug addiction. When I got clean at 26 years old, I weighed 89 pounds, right? And to be able to be in position, if you don't know why Rebound exists because the 26-year-old drug addict that I was showed up at a treatment center with a bunch of old people, right? And I never felt like I fit in. I was 26 years old, addicted to drugs, homeless with nowhere to go, and I showed up at a treatment center, And I had a very difficult time comparing in or seeing people that looked like me. And I knew at some point that I would provide the service to young people in recovery that I needed as a young person in recovery. So Rebound is the direct result of me giving back what I needed when I showed up at 26 years old. And if my life can go from standing outside of the liquor store on Pennsylvania Avenue uh, asking for loose change to having you crazy people decide that, hey, I'm going to listen to her and take some suggestions from her and maybe my life will get different, that's a luxury and an absolute privilege to be able to be afforded an opportunity to live a life beyond my wildest dreams. For anyone that thinks that I wake up in some aura with some level of expectation that I fucking made it and I deserve this, it is still every single day. Wow. Because had I made a list of what I wanted my life to be when I got clean, it wouldn't be a fraction of what God has afforded me. So I still open my door and come into my home and absolute disbelief that this is my home. This is my life. I feel the way that I feel about myself because I remember when I was hopeless, broken, and suicidal, right? So there are no regrets around my drug use because I understand that every single experience that I've had, every single hardship that I've experienced, every single fall down, every single time I wanted to give up and actually kill myself and die, got me here. So there is something in your life that people believe you should regret. There is something in your life that you've been living with an absolute regret. Oh my God, I wish I'd never done that. So, for concrete purposes, to make this tangible, if you have regrets, whatever it is, whatever they are, our challenge for climbing out is to throw them away. We are letting go of a regret tomorrow, at least one. If there is something in your life that you've done, said, been a part of, participated in, thought about, and you absolutely regret it, I wish I'd never done that. We need to let it go. Understanding that regret can be likened to like an anchor to a ship, right? Regret is that thing that's going to keep you in a place that won't let you live your absolute best life. Like we may progress, but if we have regrets, we're always going to regress. So it's about saying it happened. And as a direct, if it had not happened, you would not be where you are today. And if you believe that you're in a bad place, there is something somewhere that you can compare that it could be a whole lot worse. When I was working for 92Q, I had a meeting with one of my managers, and we were talking about goals, and I was having a hard time, and he told me to think about the toughest thing that I'd ever done, the toughest thing I had ever accomplished, the toughest thing that I'd ever experienced, the absolute toughest. So I'm asking you to think about the toughest thing that you've ever encountered. The death of a loved one, the loss of a job, homelessness, what the toughest thing. And at the time, I wasn't transparent and honest about my recovery. I lived professionally for 20 years in high-ranking positions, not ever letting anyone know that I was in recovery, right? Ashamed, right? I understand the stigmas associated with recovery. So at the time, when I was at 92Q, no one knew that I was in recovery. So when this manager asked me, like, what's the toughest thing you've ever experienced? And I said to him, running a marathon. 26.2 miles. At that point, I had run my first. I've since run 6 full marathons. So I'd run 26.2 miles in 5 hours. And it was the absolute toughest thing I had ever done outside of smoking crack and being homeless, because I wasn't telling that white man that. Erica, what's the toughest thing you ever experienced? And I thought about the marathon. And if you've run a marathon, and I've got some of my running friends here with me, that's tough. There are, you get through mile 5, and you go, what? I got 20 more miles to go. You get to mile 10, and you want to call an Uber. Your legs hurt. You're cramping. You're exhausted. You get to mile 15, and you still got miles to go. It was the toughest thing I'd ever done. And the first marathon that I did, at about mile 18, I was done. I couldn't run another mile. I was walking, and the 2 people saw me there, and they came to me, and both of them grabbed me by my arms and said, come on, girl, we got this. And I remember the pain in my legs and having to go the rest of this race. And these 2 people came and supported me, and we got through the last leg of the race together. And I remember getting across the finish line after running 26.2 miles, wanting to die. And the feeling of accomplishment once I got through, right? So when I'm asked by this manager, what's the toughest thing I've ever done? I said to this man, shit, I ran 26.2 miles. And he says, if that's the toughest thing you've done, and you didn't die, this is a piece of cake. Whatever the toughest thing you've experienced, we've all had a breakup where we couldn't breathe. We all had some. Remember the breakup where I'm going to die, and we've all experienced this feeling. And then after the breakup, you see that motherfucker a couple of years from now, and you think, what the hell was I thinking? That. We need the regrets to get there. We need the regrets to be the ex that you wonder, what the fuck was going on with me when I did that? So, and thinking about our regrets and letting go, because our task is tomorrow to let go of a regret. Right? To be done with it. No longer are we going to allow this regret to anchor us in a place that we no longer want to be. So, to identify that we are, and I said I needed something concrete. I did what I thought was right at the time. Let it go. I was a different person then. I've learned and moved on. The things that we need to tell ourselves to let go of whatever it is that we're regretting. I honestly did not know better. Other people were influencing me in a negative way. Blame that shit on somebody else. I was using drugs. We are not responsible for our disease. We are responsible for our recovery. There's a lot of shit that those of us in recovery have done. We can't live our life regretting it. So, I'm human. I fucked up. It's over. And if we have people in our lives that are holding us to things and that's forcing us to continue to regret it, those people don't need to be in our lives. There are children, people in recovery have children that want to guilt you for the rest of your life. The toughest thing that people in recovery have to do is say, look, I wasn't responsible for that when I made that decision, and it's a wrap. If you still have a problem with who I was then, you, my dear kid, need to get therapy, because I'm no longer being anchored in that place. Regrets. What is something that you regret? Challenge for tomorrow, because we've gone over our time a bit. I hope you can sit back, think about the toughest thing that you've ever experienced, realize that you didn't die. And if you got through that, you can get through anything. And if you have done something in your life that you regret, tonight's journal exercise is, and I am going to read, listen carefully, and I'm going to let you go. Climbing out. Living with regrets and letting them go. I, Erica, hereby promise to do my best to let go of regrets and instead focus my energy on making better decisions going forward. I am human and imperfect. Therefore, I will still make mistakes from time to time. We're just not making the same mistakes. And that's okay. However, as of today, climbers, I am making a commitment to work harder, to be more self-aware, and to do what I can to change the things that I regret. It's over. My primary requirement is to start over. It's done. Challenge. Tomorrow's day 17. Tonight, you think about the things that you think you regret. Understand, had you not experienced those things, you would not be the person you are today. God don't make no mistakes, and that shit is over. So is tonight. Time to go. Living with regrets, no more. Let them go. Journal about it. I regret, no more. If I had not made those decisions and done the things that I did, if I had never stood outside the liquor store on Pennsylvania Avenue, you guys wouldn't be listening to me today. No regrets. I challenge you to let it go. I'll talk to you tomorrow at 8:30. Good night, guys. Bye, climbers. Woo-hoo.